Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Nitro podcast. I'm here joined with Yellow Typer and Tariffic Typist.
The motherfucking yellow typer, you know the vibe word too.
I am the perfect typist. I'm very excited to get into this today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're so excited to have you on today.
yep. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the friends race in the chat for everybody.
Perfect.
So, obviously, like, the first topic we gotta talk about is just, like, the Nitro Math shutdown. That's pretty big for, obviously, you and me.
That is pretty big for
Oh yeah,
all
for
the natural
sure.
mouth. And honestly, when it was still in beta, I just knew it was gonna shut down like pretty soon because they haven't like really added any new updates or anything like that.
Okay,
And they
well
still have a
actually
lot.
you say that, but like they've been like secretly like changing, like tweaking things here and there. Like you used to not be able to use the nitro at the start of the race, but they actually changed that like early 2023, I believe, something like that. So I mean,
Yeah,
the beta actually lasted a lot longer than I think they originally planned for it to be.
yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, I do give props to them. They did pretty good.
yeah, I do have to say one thing about the, like, shutdown, though. I mean, obviously, our progress will be saved, but it's just a bummer. I don't understand why they couldn't keep it up while they were working on it. Because they still keep the
Yeah.
domain up. They still keep the domain up. I don't believe that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
servers would be too
they could have.
much.
The test server, right? They have a test server. I know they do. I'm
Hmm.
surprised they didn't just go with that route. But maybe I think okay, here's what I think. So you know how when they introduced leagues, for example, if you see my video of how I got the Corsa Ultima, I was like the first person to get the Corsa Ultima without ever getting to Legends League in Nitro Type.
I was
And
the
that was
last.
directly because they didn't incorporate leagues correctly into Nitromath. So something in the code detected whether you had finished a finale Legends League in Nitromath, and that's how I was able to get the course Ultima. So I think they wanted something like that not to happen again with events. So
Hmm.
they prematurely shut down Nitromath so events wouldn't like glitch out with Nitromath as well.
That sounds like a really good theory.
This is a huge downfall for all those people that don't like to like really grind on natural type to like gain levels and stuff because every race you get like 1k XP per race per game on natural math and all that.
No, you get
So
2K.
Yeah,
2K, I'm pretty sure. Or close to.
you got two
I
thousand two
think
hundred.
I think for only gold members is 2k more for only gold
Yeah,
members.
for only
So
gold members. But yeah. Let's go ahead and start the
True.
first race.
Yeah.
yeah,
Is it? It-
nice.
Nice, nice, nice. Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so let's go ahead and click race again.
Oh yeah, so but yeah, I kind of fumbled that race, but it's all right, it's all right.
It's alright.
Every little thing, it's gonna be all right.
So for the Nitro Math score list, out of like
Yeah.
all the top players, so what's the like actually like did any of the high scores change? Because I wasn't there for the last week or two of Nitro Math.
Okay, so I know Dogo got 48. I have a screenshot of Hello I'm Not Someone having a 52 in a game with me from like 2 years ago. So that is a
Wow.
screenshot. I'll send it to you. I don't know why I thought it was 49, but yeah, he had a 52, and he
Oh.
kept wanting to deny it as well. But that was funny. Um, Ray apparently has a 61. He has like 8 of them. I have no proof of this. Internet might.
I do,
Uh,
I do. I have eyewitness proof that he got a 60, not a 61 though.
Yeah, I know he has a 60 for sure. Um, but yeah, I don't know about the 61. Like Ray, I don't
It's a
know.
wild card. He's always been the wild card of Nitro
Well,
Math.
but the thing is, he has the feet to back it up, so that's what worries me.
Yeah.
I think X Cosmically, he told me in a comment section he had 52, but he couldn't. He lost his Discord account somehow. So take that with a grain of salt,
No,
because
he
I
actually
have no
did.
proof. Of it.
He actually did because there's a
Yeah?
reason he stopped talking.
Okay.
Wait, what?
All right, now let's go ahead and do the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope I don't sell. Don't give me your bad luck, terrific.
Oh, please.
Oh my gosh.
Please.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Okay, I
just
kind of
just
cooked.
making sure just making sure every race I get more than Terrific's high speed. That's the goal.
Whatever, whatever. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I feel like we should go through like some of the event opinions that I've been seeing recently.
I feel like we should go through some of the updates in this event that we're currently in.
Yeah, and some of the
Uh,
opinions that I see.
so I know the butterflies, right? They glow more the more you
Hmm.
level up, right? Like
Yeah.
if you get to level 4, like they start getting like brighter and brighter.
They get
And
rainbow.
then Dylan said after you get past level 7, the whole thing resets.
No, it just
What?
goes to zero. It goes to zero. It's like an infinite level sort of. It's a glitch, but they're trying to
Oh,
fix it.
okay.
I think it was
Yeah.
they didn't expect people to get to that level this fast. So like maybe the like next level is going to be like in a week or so. But obviously it's like I don't know, it hasn't been a week yet. But or
Yeah.
around that time.
It's only like a very couple people that this actually affects, of anybody that actually does that much racing. It's not like a mainstream effect to get to past level
Well,
6 this early.
like I'm only on level 4 like internet is,
Yeah.
and I'm like level 1 in my Legend League right now. So I don't know how many people would be higher up than me.
Yeah. Probably not that
Yeah,
many,
because
but
people these days they still do take racing league seriously,
hmm
and also I have noticed it. I have noticed that you could get more XP with the seasonal stickers that you do and the trail.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that might help level up like faster for
That
people
help a
who do a
lot.
sticker
That help
every
a lot.
race.
Theologically.
No, if you have
Oh
if you're
yeah.
doing that many races, it helps like 25,000 XP.
Yeah, I know it helps a lot.
And then people are kind of like rolling their eyes about how they're gonna release a new challenge every 2 to 3 days. And like also I realized the most recent challenge, people just automatically got them. Like they didn't even have to work for it at all. Like
No, you
so
just
that
Yeah,
might be a
if
bug
I did 100
or
races the first day and I genuinely got all the achievements, I didn't even have to race for them. I
yeah.
just get them.
And you get the achievements that are released later on because you already did the challenge, you know? So
Yeah,
like I don't know, I thought it'd be like a challenge you have to do in that 3-day time span, but I guess not, you know. I
yeah,
don't know if that was intended or like what's going on with that.
yeah. Speaking about
yeah.
like events, obviously, people hate having to use the egg hauler car, and I feel like I hate it too. Like, what's your like
Okay,
opinion?
but okay, unless you're one of the 20 people who have the wildflower, like we have no other choice. Like, what is the other option? The egg, the 3 other eggs. Like,
The
no,
eggs
thank you.
suck, and also
Yeah,
I'll let you go.
yeah. And honestly, I think the egg holder is better than the three other eggs. To be honest.
Yeah, it's just more comprehensive. You know, it's more complete of a car.
Yeah.
And oh, I think did he pause? Okay, okay. You know what? Another thing is, so Dylan, he's like, okay, for some reason the wildflower counts as a event car, and I was like,
Mhm.
that's so strange. But I guess it has flower in the name. But
Mhm.
like, I just I feel like that's a spit in the face to the community, right?
Mhm.
Like, okay, they want us to forget about King of the Race cars. They want us to pretend like they never even existed, and then they go out of the way to add this car into the bootstrap for the event.
Yeah, and it's like I would get if they added the 750 or the 1 million, because those are obviously spring themed cars, but the 250 and the 500 just don't seem like they're spring themed in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's like we don't even know if those are part of it. Only Wildflower would know,
No,
or like an admin.
we saw Asher Armstrong's video. The 250, the 500, the 750, and the 1 million are all part of the event.
You know, I feel weird that the 500 is. There's not a single like flower related thing on that
Yeah.
car. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of
That what threw me off. To be honest.
But like, I think it makes it so much worse that not just the Wildflower 250 is, but all the Wildflower cars are part of the event. I don't know. It just doesn't seem fair, you know. Like we can't get them, but they're part of the event.
Yeah, I mean, obviously about like being the like part of the event, there was rumors about some scoreboards and the thing, and
Oh yeah.
whenever they didn't come out, it was a big letdown for like everybody that they didn't have anything to track. I mean, they track event races, but if you're not using the car, it doesn't count.
I wonder. But the API doesn't work anymore, does it? Right?
No, but they do have an event field one, which you can check, and it'll show your total races. This
But
event.
that'd be much harder to. Does it? It doesn't show for teams, so it
No.
wouldn't really work for a leaderboard, would it? Because
It wouldn't look for
it would
it
be
wouldn't
like
work for a
full
user
time.
end leaderboard, but it would work for a Nitro Type end leaderboard that they could embed into the site, which they just didn't do.
Yeah. And yeah, it kind of sucks though. Like, what is the future of the NT leaderboards going to be? You know, like first Nitro Match away, and then like he has like all these ban appeals he has to deal with. So I'm like, is this the end of like the competitive scene for Nitro Type because all these things like.
No, there's definitely the end of the competitive scene. If there's any team that's competitive, it's most likely going to be botting or pyre.
Oh yeah.
True.
And I don't know. One gripe I have about this event is that the rewards are just too easy. Like you look at
They are
30
too easy to claim.
30
I mean, like,
races.
you could just hop on. You could just hop on Nitro Type and claim them in like 3 minutes span.
I mean, winning 30 rounds takes what, like an hour? It's not that
No, the
hard.
thing is, though, like you don't even have to do them on the day.
Yeah.
Like they're already released, and you already have them because you already did 100 races. Like, and I feel like that's gonna be a reoccurring thing throughout the season, unless it's a
Yeah.
bug and you patch it. But
No,
I
it's-
think
like-
it's
I don't think it's a bug. I think it's intentional.
I feel like they should just make the event rewards harder to claim, so because we have a lot of lazy Nitro Typers these days, and you know.
well, at least there's the you know it. I will say about this event, the good thing is I know it's just a bunch of butterflies, right? But getting to level 7 itself is a pretty hard thing to do for the average Nitro Typer, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, because
It's completely visual. It has no purpose. That's another thing that people have, is that this game really has no purpose now.
Like,
Yeah, but-
I only go on here, obviously, to type for fun now because of how fast I am now. But also just to see if I can get more cars, see if I can get on the car leaderboard, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know there's some I don't have that were in the shop. And I think I'm like 327 now, so I just want to see like how many more I can get at this point.
Yeah, I don't have that many cars. I think I have like 8 garages or something.
Should we start the race?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start it. That's exactly what I was about to say. Ooh, I did it. I
Almost
beat Tariffic.
definitely so.
I beat Tariffic.
Almost definitely sold. Almost
Did you
definitely
get-
sold that race.
You think you sold Tariffic Typist got a 117?
Almost definitely.
I don't know. You know, actually, on this topic of bugs, there's a pretty big one that's been going on for months. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but the daily stats
Mm-hmm.
are completely like
They're completely wrong.
you know they're completely green.
On my account where I did 0 races in 24 hours, it said 25.
For me, here, hold on. Let me leave the race for a sec. Let me look what it says for me.
Okay.
It says 68 races, 117 words per minute average, which
Yeah.
is just not true at all. Because if I look at my monthly stats, it says 133 word per minute average. So, and then my daily stats, my daily activity, which is more actually accurate, it just says 135 word per minute average for today. So like, and it's been this way. This bug has been plaguing Nitro Type for months now. Ever since, even before I retired, I'm pretty sure it was a bug.
Yeah.
You know. And with events happening, I'm pretty sure they just don't care that
Yeah.
this bug exists, you know? And it's a pretty big issue, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say if you look at the daily, mine says 124 words per minute. But in the past 2 days, I typed over 130 on average. So that's just completely incorrect on my speed and on my races.
Yeah. And, like, I'm sure many people have emailed them about the bug. I don't know if they're going to fix it, though. But, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a bigger bug than most that they should actually fix.
They need to actually fix it.
Another race.
Another race.
Oh no! Exclamation point. Never mind. Oh boy, this is not good.
Okay, I beat Tariff's high once again.
Just like not. I feel like I go way slower in front races for some reason.
Maybe you're right, but I didn't get an exclamation point on my entire text.
I did, and that sold me.
I got spaces amazing! Exclamation point.
I didn't.
Yeah,
Get that.
I got that too. I got that too.
I feel like we should talk about you mentioned earlier in the podcast how you type faster now. Let's talk about your typing method and like what changed really.
So, before my retirement, as you guys know, I was one of the fastest two-finger typists out there. Currently, obviously not of all time, but I could average like on a good day, 120 to like 115 to 125, I'd say. In that range.
Yeah.
And then I retired, and I just replaced my keyboard as well. So like my old keyboard was better for my typing style, but my new keyboard is not, like I don't know how to describe it. The fact that it's less cooked makes it harder for me to type with two fingers for some reason.
So you're saying the taped up keyboard helps you type with two fingers?
Yes, as inconsistent as it was, I could slide my fingers across it much easier.
Yeah, so
And
just
then
tape
I
up your
retired-
keyboard.
Yeah, I retired on like the keyboard was in the laptop. Okay.
Mhm.
And I retired on March, like at the end of last season, or season 55. Goodness. And then throughout that, I mean, I mainly played Nitro obviously, but I would play Monkey Type on the side, and when I mean by the side, I mean like my laptop was literally like diagonal towards me, and I'd have to like face sideways to race or
Okay.
practice. So my hand would normally it would rest on one side, and then my what was it, my left hand? Yeah, it'd rest on one side, and I would just use multiple fingers, and then my right hand would use one finger. And I was just typing much faster that way. And I was like, well, I guess I could probably stick with this because I'm like averaging what I would normally with two fingers. And I started getting PBs on Monkey Type. And then I came back to Nitro Type, and all of a sudden I'd already beaten my highest average speed ever with my new typing method. And now I'm just like so much faster than I ever was before. Like, I don't know.
So you said you use three fingers on your left-handed, one on your right?
Yeah, and then my thumb I use interchangeably, like
for space, I assume. So
you want me to use fingers for this next race?
I'm gonna use your typing method this next race.
Okay. I'll use two fingers. See if I still got it.
Oh, I'm only going like 100.
Okay, I'm not bad. Two fingers, 124. Like that's still pretty good. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I still have better accuracy. Like whenever I more than two fingers, I'm able to recover faster.
Yeah. Well, whenever you use like whenever I use my method, it's like it's balanced, but like my pointer finger was already tired after one race of doing that method.
Oh my goodness. No, I mean my pointer fingers have just had muscle memory and I don't know why I can't use multiple fingers on my right hand, but they just get in the way. So I only use the one finger. But then my left hand, it's just like chilling, like it's just sitting here, and it's just going, around the keyboard.
Well, yeah, my left hand does a lot of the heavy lifting on typing, even with my method. I feel like it's just QWERTY. Your left hand does a lot of heavy lifting, so you would need more fingers.
Yeah.
Because you have A, S, E, R, you have T, and you have C, which is all really common letters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
like when I did two fingers, I was still occasionally I'd use my pinky to hold shift. So I was already getting in the habit of like trying to use more fingers on my left hand, And I feel like most people use shift on the right hand, and I always thought that was so strange because there's so much like commas and like punctuation in the way of doing that. And
I low-key just hate typing numbers and sentences and all that.
Yeah, I do hate it having to use like a lot of numbers or like a lot of symbols whenever I'm typing in a race.
we'll never do Type Racer.
I already did a video on that. 157.
Actually, I have a. Oh my goodness, he's never gonna let go below 151, is he?
It's really possible. Like I'm doing pretty good. Normally I get like in 6 races, I'll definitely get 1 race below 151.
Yeah. In my tier test, you were like cooking for no reason. Like 153 out. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on.
I don't know. I feel like playing against Tariffic makes me worse at Nitromath and better at Nitro Type.
I mean, Nitro Type is, it's hard to mess up someone in Nitro Type. Nitromath, that's the funny thing. That's why I had the tier list, okay? And it was 1st to 15 because there was strategy, and the way you played affected how the other person played. So playing competitively was completely different from doing it solo. And that's why I made the tier list, because I wanted to see like who's the best at doing it like one-on-one. You know?
Yeah, but I do remember that internet is very competitive at Nitro Map because back in the days he played going to school and all of that.
No, I would play on my phone while I was walking to school. I would play on my phone walking home from school. I would play at school. I would play when I got home. I would play in my bed on my Chromebook whenever I was about to go to sleep, and then I would wake up and I would play it again.
So
well, the reason why I became more skilled objectively than Internet Typer at Nitromath, I don't know, it's just because like I always wanted to play at my best, and that's what led to like my increased skill throughout the months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's still a pretty close matchup, and I feel like I have my game modes where I'm better than you, like 2 specifically.
For sure, like counting candy is like
adding bills. I could stomp you plus 10 average on adding bills.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the only person that could beat you in bills is Ray. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we did a couple rounds, and he beat me just by 5 point average. Definitely a tier above me for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I had a 45 average of 10, I believe, at the ending of adding bills.
I think out of like the big 5, I think I'm the worst at unknown numbers. Unironically.
Really?
Like my highest average in unknown numbers was 45, but I have a feeling you've probably done better than that. Like I don't know why
I've done better.
But
I threw in the test because I got really PMO'd, you know.
Well, imagine me. For me, I only got a single 50 in unknown numbers, and it was a 53.
How about Yellow Typer? Yellow Typer, you have like 1,000 games on Nitromath. What's your highest?
I haven't really keep it track, but my highest in Nitromath for the edition is I think 46. Yeah, but that was only because I was like playing Nitromath a whole lot during back in the days when internet was as well, because I switched over to Nitromath.
I remember 46 was my best. You know, getting 40s was like super hype.
It was really.
Today's attendance when me and him did like that legendary session, like, bro, I had so much fun that whole week of Nitromath, and then until leaks came out.
Yeah, I also did the session with you guys. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, I had about a 900 by the time I quit.
Was this during December 2023 with me and Tendons, or?
Yeah, it was with Tendons. I was in the live stream.
Oh, okay. You heard me on Snapchat call. That's funny.
Yeah, I did hear you. I did hear you on Snapchat call. I thought you and like Tendons were like best friends or something. Cause
no. We were just losing our sanity because there was like a whole like 8-hour stretch where all of his friends went to bed, and it was just me and him queuing games. And I guarantee you, we have the world record for most consecutive queued games together. Like around 300, I'd say. You know?
Yeah,
because
that's
here's what happened. He would reload faster than me, so he'd create the part, and then I would reload, which takes forever for me. But I would always land in his game, and we just kept doing that over and over and over.
Well, it has I believe like a 10 or 15 second window where you're just waiting for the match to start, and it looks for other players.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes it so I didn't lose any pacing over him, although there were times where I miscued him. And so he would get ahead of me. That's why his pacing was so much better than mine. Because like he got 100 in like 36 hours, and then I got 1350 in 42 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I had I believe I did like what was it, like a 30 or 40 hour session towards the ending of the everything. I live streamed a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I did a lot of it on my phone, which is why I didn't live stream that part, but I got to Definitely like a 1550 session or something.
You know, it's still,
So I have the
kind of
record.
sad because unless Ray is not lying, still don't have a 60 on video. You know, that was really disappointing. I really wanted it. You
I
know,
mean, there was the
I got
only like chance that it would be like possible is like Ray, and then also if I recorded it because I had eyewitness, but I didn't record because I didn't think anything was gonna happen in 3 games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's insane too when you think about it. 3 games and he pulled out a 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like 8 hours after the first 60 ever by Mistrix.
Yeah.
And well, the last 2 days of Nitro Math, I did do record attempts like constantly,
Yeah, I remember.
and I could only get 50s and 59s, you know, but I couldn't get any 60s on video. It really
Yeah.
sucked.
Actually, I got a 60 and I could have got that on video.
Oh, I had no clue the race.
One on your alt?
Yeah. Okay, I did it again.
My God, so annoying. And then PW, they got high tier 1 on the last day of Nitro Math testing, so that was awesome as well.
Yeah, that was like the last. Like I'm not even sure who's high tier 1. Who's all the high tier 1s and low tier 1s.
So there's me, there's Mistrix, there's Disrupt, there's Ray, there's Internet Typer, there's Juju, and then there's PW.
VL's not
And
even
then,
low tier
like-
1.
No, he just fumbled his addition tier test. I don't know
So
why.
he's high tier 2.
Yeah, he was high tier 2.
That sounds so
But he has the
incorrect.
best. And Bursna got low tier 1 in division,
Okay,
which
so
is better
Bursna.
Bursna's actually better at division than Ray and Internet Typer, surprisingly.
Hey man, it just doesn't
Which-
click sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
click for me either, but like, I still was able to beat Bursna every time. So there was that.
Well, my division estimated games was like 4,000. Sandbagged all of them.
Well, yeah. I
It's
still
just
can't
easy-
believe I got that 40 in estimated division by sheer luck, you know, by sheer brute force.
Imagine that RNG, bro. That's like Ray RNG. Imagine that RNG on addition, bro.
You know, like, I swear I hit like 90 tiles that game. Like, it was 46 and it was 53% accuracy. And VL was like, he was pissed off in the voice chat.
I remember.
He was,
I was
like,
there.
"Bro, what is that RNG you just got?" And I'm like, I don't know, I just bum rushed through all of it. But
Imagine
I've never
if
ever seen a sea of answers that huge in my entire Nitro Math career.
it was friends games, which is probably why. I remember I saw my entire screen. I was doing 15 people, which was all 15 of my alt accounts, and I was playing legit on one, and it was so much answers. I genuinely couldn't even play strategically because there was too many answers to go through. It would spawn on me all the time
Yeah.
and ruin my pacing.
That's too funny. Oh my
Start
goodness.
the
And
race.
that's another funny thing. How you could do, hold on, we'll do the race first and then.
Oh, that was a good race.
I clutched it up.
For how-
That was a good race.
I went from, in the last 5 seconds, I went from 130 to 157. I was genuinely
at-
typing 190. 98, bro, you
I don't
almost
know,
literally
I
got a
don't
top
know.
speed.
I'm surprised I got 133 with me sitting crisscross applesauce on my chair right now.
Oh,
Makes no sense. So
Okay.
as I was saying, I don't know if you noticed as well, but you know how you can do globe mode on Nitro
Yeah.
Math as well? So last day I was like, you know what? Ray told me he had 861s. Screw this. I'm not gonna keep trying to record 60s. All right. So what I did instead was I tried doing a few games on globe mode to see if I could break that world record, which there was no world record for it, but I know I had gotten a 43, so I wanted to at least do better than that.
No, mine
And-
overcome it. He did a 40 on it.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you see my video, I was able to get a 46 in globe mode somehow.
Yeah, that's definitely
No
definitely
idea.
higher.
Yeah, I have no idea how. It was funny because my first attempt at globe mode ever, I held my phone up to record it and I got a 43 somehow. And I was like, oh, this is not that bad. And then I realized that was an outlier because every other game after was a 38 or a 37.
True.
Which
like
is
whenever I went on my
The
alt
answer-
account.
Because you can't see the answer until it's too late, and you're like, oh, and then your like sensitivity is weird, and so 36 was crazy luck that I got. So at least I was able to get a world record before the game shut down again.
I don't
after
know.
a
I
bunch
have any
of
records? Do I have any records on Nitro Math besides the session? I think that's my only one.
me and you are tied for highest recorded Nitromath game. We both have a 59 on
Okay.
video.
So I have the highest recorded Nitro Math game. I could go ahead and still. And
You
keep
have
in
the
mind,
highest recorded
mine was
Nitromath game.
over 1,000 games into a session, which is like 2K on Nitro Type.
Tariffic, what other records you hold? You hold the highest record for most cumulative Nitromath games on, because you have so many alts. You probably are 80,000-ish.
No, I counted up. I was over 100,000 across all my alts.
Damn. What about even the ones that you sold to other players? Are you counting those, or how did that work?
Oh, the ones I sold to other players, what, Young Rari, like Carter is Dogwater, I did all his games. Across all my alts, I definitely have over 100k. And remember, Carter is Dogwater is banned, but it had 13k, which you probably weren't adding into the equation.
I'm trying to think what other Nitromath records I still hold. I hold the record for longest 50 streak in one day, and
What
that
was
was 258. I had 258 games with a 50 average.
You definitely, towards the end, were almost the best player in the game.
Maybe, yeah, in addition at least. But
And it
best
did.
edition player of all time. But I don't think level Ray was at counting candies just yet. I think I was one pedigree below that.
Well, he's what, a low tier 0 and you're like a high tier 1?
No. He's a high tier 0. I'm a low tier 0. Because one of my tier tests, I literally got 51.4 average.
No way.
And I found, you can look on the spreadsheet.
I left the server because I thought you were gonna delete it or something.
Oh, no. Just join back on your, because the link is still in your server. And then you can look in results. It was against Mizu, I believe. You can see it was one of the last tier tests I did.
Mizu must have been cooked. It was results, so it wasn't even high results.
No, Mizu. Well, Mizu is low tier 4 is really bad. I want to get high tier 4, please. And I'm like, sure.
We used to clown Mizu for that, I'm not gonna lie.
And then the last tier test, I begged someone to do a tier test on their phone, so I could get past Mistrix in the average for addition. Because that was like 0.1 away from beating him. And I'm like, I literally just need one more test, and I have him. Are you looking at the spreadsheet now, or?
Hold on, should I pull up the spreadsheet on screen for the thing? Let me go ahead and pull it up. Nitro Math tier list. This looks about right. So, let's look at top players of all time. I'm below Ray, apparently. When I have 2 more game modes tested, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, Ray? He's just really consistent. And Nitro Typer is high tier 3 in subtraction. Come on.
Well, we could go ahead and look at Juju, and compared to Super Jolzy, who's tested in every game mode. That's actually got to be sad.
Oh, he got low tier 2 in addition. That was also one of the final tests.
Well, good. What about Typing Cat? Did he always have low tier 2 in ad?
He got demoted, but then barely got low tier 2 again by the skin of his teeth.
Bruh, this dude, in my thing, he got 0.0... No, he got, I think it was 0.01 average away from getting high tier 3 in Nitro Type testing. I was like...
Bro, what? I thought, wait, aren't they rounded up?
They are rounded up, but this was before.
Oh, I decided to stop rounding stuff up, so that's why Disrupt has high tier 2 in Division. This is funny.
Disrupt is high tier 2. So he's basically as good as my multi in Division.
Oh, pretty much. I don't know why me and Mistrix are the only good people in Division. Well, and Burzna. I guess it just didn't click for most people. And then Subtraction. I don't know if you know this, but Disrupt finally beat Mistrix in a tier test, and it was 15 to 14 in Subtraction. And
So-
you know what? Mistrix had a higher average than Disrupt in that test.
That's no way.
I'm being serious.
Well,
Look in
that
the...
happened with Caleb versus Juju on Nitro Type tier testing. And Caleb had a higher average, but Juju won.
That's funny. Look at Subtraction. And then Disrupt, he was high tier 1 when he first tested in Subtraction. But, he got because he fumbled.
Let's go ahead and go over to this last one, which is the best test. I feel like we should go over this. Somehow, you got a 51.4 average, and Ray only got a 50.2. So basically, you're better than him.
And then, well, yeah, you see, that was the 94th test. It was the 4th test from being the last one. But near the end of it, I could average 49 in addition pretty easily every test.
Oh, it would be so lit if you got to 100 tests, but that just couldn't happen.
Oh, I got to
98.
I only got to 73, but I got to 1,000. I got to over 1,000 games won. So that was pretty good.
Highest test win ratio. Internet Type. What's crazy is when I look at Ray, his win ratio is actually insanely bad.
Well, that's because he was only just washed every single edition test he did, or he wasn't in his prime. I think Prime Ray could have been internet in addition.
Really?
But the thing is with Ray is he switched over to Cotton Candy so soon, but he did get a 60 in addition.
Let's not forget, I also got a 60 in addition.
No, you got in County Candy.
Hey, but nah, my highest in addition, I think it's only 50, 57, or 58.
I got a 57 in County Candies as well.
Yeah.
So that's when that happened. Because at that rate, none of the other game modes I had a best over 55.
What's crazy is that there's only 5 people who've ever won a tier test.
That's the big 5.
The only people who have ever won a tier test. It's not even PW when he's a high tier 1.
Juju got 9 rounds off of me in addition, I think. So he came pretty close. And then it was funny because Ray, he decided to 1v1 me in multiplication, and he lost 15 to 13. So that was funny.
When did that happen?
How Ray was gone for 2 weeks, and then
Which time?
right after 5. No, season 50. Wait, what was it? Season 54. My gosh.
After typing Cat 1.
He came back, and the first thing he told me was test in the chat. And in what mode? Multiplication. And then me and him went back and forth, like constantly. You can look in the high results. Just look up for Ray, and then you'll see it. I hope that's not too much work, but
it's just you talking about Ray and then Disrupt.
And then I got so mad every time we tried to do a triple 50 attempt because there was always 2 people ready, and then there was never a third. A third person was almost ready.
I tried with Juju and Ray one time.
I tried with Juju and Ray on the last day, and what happened was they both went on the track. Ray had to leave, so me and Juju did some games, and then Juju left, and me and Ray did some games. And me and Ray got 51, both of us in County Candies. But Ray was like he was so washed.
The race has expired. Let's go ahead and do a race.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
And also, Yellow's been pretty quiet because we're just talking about Nitro Math, which isn't the best.
Most people don't know what went on in Nitromath, so like, it's good that there's somewhere to talk about it.
For sure. This is probably going to be the only time that Nitro Math will ever be mentioned on this podcast. Unless I could get Ray to hop on, I might want to do that. I did it.
Oh my gosh. I sold, but I beat the Typist. I sold, but I beat the Typist.
I sold worse.
Terrific. Your average, by the way, your average has gone down by 5 points since you started this.
No. I do hope to do a world history video of Nitromath at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have all my details lined up. Pretty much how it'll work is I'll talk about the world record progression, and then I'll be like, but then, a year later, PW's 59 was finally confirmed, and this changed everything. Or something stupid like that. To make the video...
Obviously, well, I actually got in a game with somebody back in the day. You could check Disrupt's comments. I saw somebody get a 57 in my game back in 2023.
Bro, what? Was that PW or...
Actually, I think it was PW because that was like the only active player in 2023 who used to sandbag and do high point games.
But do you have a screenshot of the 57 or?
I've switched computers and I don't have any 2023 data at all anymore.
Well, I'm trying to think because that kind of sucks because Disrupt held the 55 record for so long, and I knew VL and Internet they had 55 as well, and I thought it stayed that way until Disrupt got 56.
No, I saw PW get a 57. It was when Disrupt's world record video was still the world record, I guess. But I would say that I did because I remember going to his Padlet. It might be deleted now, but I posted an image in his Padlet. If you guys go still check that, maybe he might have it up.
I don't know. Padlets are hard to find.
I think he probably deleted it because his Padlet got really crowded and he reset it.
Man, I was going 140 most of that. Oh well.
I was going 160 the whole race.
Oh boy, 70. Oh no.
I just sold right there.
You gotta realize, Yellow Typer's highest speed is 101, and he's supposed to be a Nitro Type YouTuber.
Wait, no, didn't he get a 98 earlier?
Yeah, he got a 98 earlier, but I mentioned it, that it was close to his high speed.
I didn't know that was a big deal or not, but and I was like, oh, well, isn't your top speed like 105 probably, but 101, that's like me getting 148. So.
It's like me getting a 175. Imagine I just drop a 175 on you. Guys, let's see if I can.
You got a 177 during our test.
170. I actually just got a 170.
I got 144.
That was decent for a yellow as well.
Nah,
It wasn't too good.
Guys, why is Nate Dogg online? Is he gonna start live streaming?
Maybe.
but Nate Dogg been making keyboard content lately.
But I swear doesn't he still do streams every once in a while, or
He still does live streams every once in a while.
whose keyboard is that?
Internet. Yeah.
He needed an ASMR kind of keyboard.
I do have an
Yeah.
ASMR kind of keyboard.
Oh my goodness. But the thing is, I want to make more videos. I'm just so lazy. I just don't want. Because my laptop and computer, they run so slow. It makes me not want to work on them at all.
Well, yeah,
Because I'm just like,
for
wait.
videos.
I'm waiting for stuff to load and stuff. But I have so many ideas I still want to do
Hmm.
for Type and Nitro Math. I'm coming up on the 6th year of making Nitro Type content.
I'm coming up on my. I've actually already came up on my 3rd year. So this is my 4th technically.
And then
Well, no,
I think
my
me
5th.
and
My
Nate
5th.
Dogg
My 5th.
Me and Nate Dogg are like the only. Well, he's not even Nitro Type anymore. So I guess it's just me, who's an old man content creator still around. You know.
Yeah. Well, I've just switched channels all the time. Like I was doing videos in 2020, where I was like, okay, put this in perspective. I was 10 years old, and I was swearing on Nitro Type videos all the time. I would spam like the F word all the time on my old Nitro Type videos, and all of them would get age restricted. Okay. Yeah, I didn't beat 151 that specific race. So
Yeah,
out of-
I mean, you're only 10 more than my.
yeah, it was only what was it, 7 away or 5 away from your high speed.
Yeah.
I hope I go against Typing Cat for my tier test.
For sure. I feel like just for a duel, we need to get you and Typing Cat versus me and somebody else for a 2v2. That would be interesting.
I would like you to explain this to the audience. How do 2v2s work exactly? Like, can you simplify it or?
Okay, let's actually do a race, and then at the end I'm gonna explain it so you could see visually kind of what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and I could sort of visualize it.
Oh my God! I was
did it.
going 155 in the middle of that.
I did it just barely 152. Okay, so pretty much for example.
If there was hold on. If there was no customizability, I could have gone 150. I'm being dead serious.
Oh yeah, the
Anyways,
Z. Okay, so so say this was a 2v2. It was Yellow and Tariffic versus Internet and Samantha, I guess. So pretty much, first place would get 5 points. Second place would get 4 points. Third place would get 3. Fourth place would get 2. Last place would get 1 point. So you guys would get a allotted total of 9 points versus me and Samantha only going up to 4 points, and you guys would win that round. And say it's a tie. For example, say you got first place, Tariffic got 4th place, which makes it a total of 7, and say I got 2nd place and Samantha got 3rd place, which is another total of 7. So say it was a 7-7, it would tie, we would go into the next round and it would be worth 2 points. So if you tie in points, it just goes automatically to the next round, and that next round is worth 2 points for the tied game and for this game.
Yeah, I look. You need to do my tier testing.
Yeah. Well, me and Asta S versus No This Is Gene and Onion, which wasn't really a good matchup. Me and Mindsets are both high tier 2s, and No This Is Gene is a high tier 3, Onion's a high tier 1. So it was more of
That sounds pretty balanced to me. You guys are all if you subtracted and add up the tiers, that kind of evens out, no?
well, not really, because we did it on casual as a proof of theory, but for actually a 2v2 on competitive would be interesting.
It would be this is for competitive?
No, it's for mostly if you're all the same tier, yeah, but it's mostly for casual, for fun. Because
Okay.
it's a really interesting concept. If we had another person in here, I could demonstrate it.
Yeah. Bro, I wish VL would test already and get high tier 1.
I don't know. I was trying to sneakily tier test him, but he hops off after 3 races.
What?
There was actually a chance to tier test him, but I was asleep.
Okay,
I got another 170, guys. Am I gonna break my record? Probably not.
I'm trying to... What else there? See, we already talked about Nitro Math
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
I feel like we touched
Um,
base on most things. Yeah, I feel like this is a good place to end it. We talked about everything we really needed to.
Yeah, hold on. There's one more thing I wanted to bring up. I don't know if you've ever heard of this racer. He might not be that well known. His name is Billy33.
I know him. I know him personally.
Uh,
I've talked to him.
he recently actually beat Kocho's race count. Any thoughts about this? And like,
Well, I've
Like,
talked
should
to
he
Billy
be-
33. You put the sus sticker, so I assume you think he's a botter. I'm not gonna throw accusations out there, but it is pretty suspicious, especially from like what I was talking about. Like his method is just like no auto reload, which doesn't seem to be true. For like if you look at his race efficiency, like you could do a deep dive into like his race efficiency, his overall races over the years. But Billy 33, it might just be an IBD situation where they're legit, but they're just like really old and don't understand anything.
or they're keeping up with Dylan. Like, their pacing is on par with Dylan, or passing it.
No, they're
Like, I
passing.
think
They're
last-
passing. They're passing Dylan.
Their last spreadsheet update, they were doing 450 a day, and Dylan was doing 420 a day for my spreadsheet. So like, I don't know, because he was flagged as a botter by NT leaderboard. So I don't know if he is or not, like legit or not.
So is Nin Caleb. I mean, and we know that Nin Caleb is legit.
This is true. This is true.
I wonder why he's still using the Blitz Cobalt when he could use the Wildflower for the event.
I don't know.
That's
Also,
just like one thing I have is like, why wouldn't you switch your car to the Wildflower if it's an event car?
And you know what's exciting me? I might update my spreadsheet soon because Euphoria or Nerdy Nerd 21 has came back for this, so they might get the last 1,000 races they need for 300K.
They
Possibly. I'm not.
It's really. It wouldn't be soon. It would be in a couple months because I've looked at their race count yesterday, and since yesterday they've only done 50 or 80 races.
Oh, okay. So they're not doing crazy active. They're just back.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I still have my eye on Megatron and me because he's at 297 and he's been that way for 2 years now. So I've always got to see if he'll come back and just do the last 3K.
I don't know. I'm thinking about getting to 300K. I'm thinking about it. I don't think I will though. And I think that's a good place to end it off. We're almost at an hour runtime.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's about all the things. I'm sure I'll have more stuff because Nitro Math is just a small footnote of my career on Nitro Type. I have so many more things I could talk about. You know, so many things that I've done. But yeah, we could save it for next time. If I may ask, I don't know if you're willing to reveal it, but who do you have in mind for next podcast?
Next podcast, I'm obviously a yellow typer called out Wolfie, but I don't think he's gonna hop on. I feel like I don't know.
Reach out to Wolfie and see,
I-
but Wolfie might be too busy to be honest.
I'm thinking we might have either ntleagues or Dylan J on next time.
I think Dylan
Honestly,
J.
I feel like
Like, he's like the-
I'd have to bump up the race efficiency for Dylan J for sure.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, Dylan J. He's a really fun person to talk to, and he's like the poster boy for what Nitro Type content should be for 2025 so far.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm also like one of the poster boards for Nitro Type content in 2025.
Yeah, but I'm saying like his style is unique. You know, the life of a grinder kind of content. Like it works pretty well for him.
It works pretty well
So
for him.
that-
I mean, yeah.
That you want to have for this podcast.
Yeah, it would be very good insight if we go ahead and look into him. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast with either one of them.
All right.